Well, Jackson, how positive a sign should we take it that there's no cast on right now?
Yeah, I mean, I've been wearing a splint, every day. I just don't have it on at the moment. But, I'm just sticking to my recovery plan. Everything's going good, just feeling a lot better. But I just got to wait on the doctors and trainers, everything like that, to let me get back in there.
The latest expected timeline sounds like at least a couple of games are in jeopardy, if not out.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how I'm feeling. It's feeling good, but just waiting on them to let me get back out there.
How are you approaching this time, though, as you're healing, I mean, mentally in particular, because, watching practice, I mean, you're standing right there just taking everything in. What are you able to get out of this? It's probably frustrating, but at the same time.
It's frustrating not being able to be out there, but it's also a good learning experience. Whenever you're able to kind of step away and actually, see practice and watch it from an outside perspective, you kind of just, see things you probably wouldn't see all the time while you're playing. So just learning all that stuff, and then also just trying to use my voice on the side as well, helping guys out, stuff like that.
Speaking of seeing things from the sidelines, what's been your impression of Weey and how he's adjusted to this?
Yeah, I mean, Weey's really very talented. He's adjusting super quickly to this level over here. Just his IQ is off the charts. You could plug him in and he's gonna make plays. He can really shoot the ball. So he's gonna really help us out this year for sure.
Are you already envisioning kind of the way you two might be able to work together?
Oh yeah. I can't wait to get out there and play with him for sure.
Nate, what do you want to see your guys work on for the next exhibition?
Our defense in the second half, that's something coach has been emphasizing is, we came out strong, there in the first half in the first exhibition game. Second half, we were even in points scored or, pretty close. So he wants to see us take that next step forward, in the second half. Defense is away from our bench, it's going to be just us, no coaches, yelling around, talking about what we need to do defensively. So hopefully taking that step and then, just our offense, keep translating, what we're doing in practice to the games and sharing the ball and, communicating whatever we need to do to get that second half rolling.
To the point of not maybe being able to hear coaches as well in that situation, you take some responsibility, hey, I'm a veteran guy, I need to make sure we're all kind of on the same page.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I feel like we have a lot of guys who played, a lot of basketball on the team. So being able to, all of us use our voices, being able to communicate, what we see, and then, just communicating ball screens, back screens, what we think they're running, everything kind of like that. Just being able to, all of us use our voice, not just me.
For any of you guys, we heard a little bit from the guys who were just in here about these summer pickup games that you guys are running, especially when you're bringing a new group together. Who's putting those games together, and what would those like?
It would kind of just be like everybody. Sometimes, me, Jackson, there'd be guys that would just say, let's get together. We had Dante and Dylan, come for a weekend, so we got together, played with them. But, not playing together for a lot the only guys that played together are me, Jackson, and KJ. Dez and Jamari were hurt last year. So, there's only 3 guys out of 15 on the team that have played together. So those open runs, just kind of learn how everybody plays, what people's, specialties are, what they like doing. Everything kind of like that just translates into, practice, into playing, everything like that. So.
Just going back to the exhibition against Utah, I know you talked about the defense in the second half, but you had a dominant first 9 minutes in that scoreless run. Just how did it feel just to be back out there? I know you made the decision to come back and play this year. Just how excited were you to get out there, and how good did it feel just to be with this new team finally taking on another opponent? Yeah,
it felt really good. Had a super long summer doing everything that I did, and coming back here, getting with these guys, the new guys. Like Big E here and Weey, we got FA from Turkey, guys that didn't play last year, all them being back on the court. So it was a very, fun summer being able to learn everything about, these guys and what they do. And, it felt great to be back out there and, play a real game again. Because, we all go against each other every day in practice, but everybody knows our plays. We're trying to jump the lanes, everything like that. So playing, a new team, kind of helped us figure out where we are offensively and defensively.
Okay, what went into the decision to come to Oregon?
It was a pretty simple decision for me. I got to talk to coach before coming here, and he explained to me what your program is and how I'll be able to fit into this process. And he sold me a really good pitch, so I really like coming here. It was a great decision to come.
Has it been playing and learning behind Nate?
It's been tough. He's big as hell. Even though they call me Big K, he's big as hell. But like, it's been a really fun experience. Like he said a few seconds ago, we really challenge ourselves in practice. So like, I feel like it's a really big opportunity for me to learn from him because I'm coming from a whole different competition. This is really pretty new to me. So he's helping me like on and off the court to really adjust and get prepared for this season.
What kind of adjustments do you have to make coming from international ball to the NCAA level? You know, what are some of the challenges?
Number one, I'll say, to be honest, is the pace. Yeah, the pace is pretty insane. Like in Europe, we run, but like not this much. But like we run here, but like with the help of like the trainers, I'm trying to get my body and my shape to be able to run and be able to be more physical in this game. So I'll say the pace. But apart from that, I think everything is pretty similar. The IQ, the basketball, the players are pretty phenomenal. So I think like it's pretty similar.
Yeah, you mentioned, I mean, effectively you guys returned 3 guys, but it's 3 guys who played a lot and, you know, really skilled. You surprised you guys aren't getting more attention preseason? Are you even aware of that? Does it matter?
I mean, not really. Like it's kind of whatever, you know, for us, because I mean we know how we play. We've all, you know, last season ended how it ended, but you know this is a whole new team. You know, we have a lot of guys that have transferred in, or you know, guys coming from overseas. So you know, I don't think you know people really know how good we can be, and I think you know that's something that moving forward, and you know this next exhibition game going into you know our first preseason games, you know we're just going to go out there and play as hard as we can, and you know whatever happens. So.
Coach Altman just kind of talked about the potential of this group, but said because you have so many new parts, you have a lot of international players, just young players that are kind of having their first shot at playing for this team. How close do you think you are to like really finding that connection where everyone can play their best basketball?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we're gonna every month of the year, you know, we're gonna keep learning and getting better. You know, Coach Altman is always saying, you know, this month we'll be this good. Next month we're gonna be learning, and you know, month after month we just translate everything into, you know, hopefully when we get into March. And play. So, you know, it's just kind of each month we're taking steps, each day taking steps, you know, to hopefully become, you know, one of those teams, you know, in January, February, where, you know, people don't want to play us.
Jackson, I'm curious, just your observations, kind of being able to take a step back of all the newcomers and everything comes together. Like, what do you think this team looks like now, and maybe what do you expect it could look like later in the year?
Yeah, I mean, first off, I think all the newcomers did a really good job just coming in and getting adjusted really quickly. You know, got international guys, never played, you know, this kind of basketball. So I think they just came over here and like Big Z, like he was getting the plays down super quickly. Weey, FA, like they were all just getting the plays down super quickly. So for that to happen, it just made it easier for all of us too. And then, you know, newcomers, everybody's doing good, getting the plays down, just everybody's playing together, and you know that's what we're really gonna have to do this year to go far. Lock in on defense for sure. We're gonna have a lot of guys who can score the ball, so you know I don't think coach is super concerned about that. I think defensively is where we're really gonna have to take a step and hone down on that for sure.
You obviously want to get back as soon as possible, but when Oregon State is one of those games before Vegas, how much of a motivator is to get back on the court for that one, especially? Yeah. I mean, you want it as soon as possible to get it, but that's one that would be, I would imagine, more difficult to miss. Yeah,
no, I mean, yeah, hopefully, you know, I love playing Oregon State. Everybody knows, you know, it's a big rivalry, Oregon State. You know, I always love playing against them. So, you know, hopefully I'm healthy by then. But we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
For both you and Nate, what did it mean to you guys when, I mean, I imagine growing up in this part of the country in particular, that playing Gonzaga would always be like a dream or an aspiration, but it just hasn't really happened in like 25 years, other than the Caribbean game a few years back. Mm-hmm. So when that got added to the schedule and it was in Portland, what did that opportunity mean to you?
Oh yeah, I was super excited when I saw that one. You know, Gonzaga is a very respected program. They've won a lot of games last couple years. So, you know, we're going to be hyped up for that one. And also just being in Portland at the Moda Center, you know, it's my first time ever playing there. So, you know, I'm really excited to be able to play in front of my family and friends. Going to be a lot of people in the Portland area there to support us. So that should be a fun game for sure.
Yeah, just like Jackson said, you know, they're, you know, very well-respected program. You know, growing up, I was always watching, you know, Oregon, Gonzaga, you know, the California schools, just because it was West Coast. So, you know, growing up watching them, what they've done, you know, over the years, everything like that. It's going to be, special to play them in Portland. And then, like Jackson said, both our families are going to be I'm probably going to have 30 people at that game. Big one. I got friends, family in Washington too that are going to come down for the game. So that means a lot. I think for both of us is being able to play in front of our home state and families and everything like that.
For both of you, just being the few returning starters on this team, just Coach Altman mentioned earlier, I think last week, that he just wanted to see you guys grow in your voices. And even though you might not be loud people, how have you kind of accepted that challenge and are working towards having a bigger voice now that you are the leaders and the veterans on this team?
Yeah, I think, it just kind of happens over time. Like coming in as a freshman, I didn't really know what to expect. I had guys like Mfale, Jermaine Couisnard, even Nate was here for a few years, just guys I could look up to and were kind of the voice. They've been in the program for a while. And just going into my third year now, I've played for Coach for 2 seasons, played a lot of minutes, been the point guard, had the ball in my hand. So I just know what to see out there, what to expect, so just with the new guys coming in, that's on us, who have been out there to really help them out and have a voice, tell them where they need to be, defensive assignments, stuff like that. Just really help them out.
Yeah, kind of like Jackson was saying, we've been here the longest out of anybody. So, I've been through this program for, 4 years going on 5 now. And, I know what Coach wants and expects. So, being able to, it's a little different, if I'm talking to Zeke than, Coach talking to him. Player-to-player relationships, building that connection, with the team and, having them, everybody respects everybody. So whenever you say something, me and Zeke talk, all practice. Weey, if he's, coming off a ball screen, what we see and everything like that. So I think it's also just a different, I don't know how to say it really, but instead of it coming from Coach, coming from another player, I think it's very well respected on the team. And, that's something that, our teammates appreciate.
Hey, what do you think the options are? It seems like this team just has more size than the past couple of years. Not necessarily radically, but more.
Yeah.
So when you guys play some of the bigger teams like you guys would play in the past, like Minnesota, for example, or Iowa or something, what might that be able to offer you that, all right, last year we didn't see you and Supreme a ton together, but this team has more size that, you might be able to put Kwame at the true 3 maybe, even if you go really big. What might that offer you against some of those bigger teams? Yeah,
I think, against bigger teams it's going to be, really well because, usually most people have a footer at the center. And then, a little smaller guy, not smaller guy, but, still 6'10" or whatever at the 4. And at the 3, like you said, with KJ, if he plays the 3, he's usually a 6'7", 6'6" guard. So, being able to have, bigger guys going inside out, making plays from the key to the perimeter, I think will be a big advantage for us this year. And then, offensive rebounds, Zeke, me, KJ, Sean, Dev can rebound. Dez in the exhibition game, had 8 or whatever. So, we have really good rebounding all around from our guard spots 4 and 5. So I think that's a big thing that, we can tone in on this year is, getting the ball from inside to the outside and, also crashing the boards offensively and defensively.
Jackson, kind of to that point, Coach has talked about the versatility he thinks this roster can provide. As you're watching your group as an outsider kind of, like how many different personnel combinations, just how many different looks do you feel like you see out there potentially that you guys could
we got a lot of options, which is great. Guys who can plug in at different spots. Like KJ said, you might even see like Nate said, you might even see KJ at the 3 a little bit. At 6'10", that's not, you don't see that very much in college at least. So we just got a lot of different guys who can come in and play different positions and. We're going to need everybody, so, that's really big for us for sure.
Up until the hand injury, what were you focusing on most throughout the offseason?
Really just being assertive, trying to be aggressive, whether it's making plays, shooting the right shots, stuff like that. Obviously, every season try to get better defensively. But I felt like I was at a pretty good spot, but obviously, just bummer to go down. I'm excited to get back out there for sure. And but it's been great watching these guys, start getting more comfortable as exhibition games going on. season's really coming around the corner. So, they're doing a good job, and I'm excited to get back out there with them.
When it's been a splint rather than a hard cast, Jackson, just from a physical strength and recovery standpoint, how much, I don't want to say harder or easier, I have no idea. Like, what is it like compared to, like, if you're in a hard cast, you're going to lose hand strength, you're going to lose some degree of mobility. So how much does not being in that help you maintain some level of strength throughout this so that you're not further delayed?
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing any little exercise I can to strengthen my hand. Honestly, I feel like I didn't lose any strength. I mean, it's common just to think that if you're in a hard cast, but I don't really feel that way. So I'm just doing everything I can rehab wise just to get stronger, get healthy as soon as I can. Just waiting on approval to get back out there from my trainers and doctors. But from here on out, just doing anything I can really to get back out there ASAP.